For more on the ruling on student loan forgiveness, CBS News reporter Sarah Ewall-Wice joins us now. Hey, Sarah. So how did the Supreme Court come to their decision on student loans?
So there were actually two cases challenging the forgiveness plan. The court actually concluded that one of those cases brought by students did not have standing. But they did decide the case brought by states, specifically one state, Missouri, had the right to sue. The Biden administration had argued it could implement this forgiveness plan under the 2003 HEROES Act. But the court ruled in a 6-3 decision that while the law does allow the education secretary to waive or modify existing provisions applicable to financial assistance programs, it does not allow them to rewrite statute and cancel that $430 billion in student loan debt. The three liberal justices dissented, saying the court exceeded its role in governance, and they also disagreed that Missouri even had standing here to bring the case. Of course, Democrats and the Biden administration are vowing to keep fighting to provide that student loan relief.
Sarah, at the same time, the pause on federal student loan payments is coming to an end. So how is that proceeding?
Yeah, so separate from this forgiveness plan that was struck down, the millions of Americans with student loan debt are going to have to start paying their student loans this fall. Those had been on pause since spring of 2020. But starting in September 1st, interest rates that had been set at zero now for more than 3 years will kick back in, and those payments will start to come due in October. When exactly borrowers will have to make their first payment depends on their loan servicer. So there's a little bit of difference between what's happening there in terms of who's having to pay when. But this is something that is going to apply to about 40 million Americans. So there really is going to be a huge shift here in terms of what's happening. Of course, there are supposed to be 6 communications coming that will help give borrowers information ahead of those payments coming due. I'm told the education department is working on that, but that loan servicers do not have that information yet. But those communications will be coming down the pipeline for borrowers who are going to have to start making those payments.
So, Sarah, part of what's really interesting about this Supreme Court decision is that the policy never actually was put, really ever
implemented.
Implemented,
yeah, right.
Yes, thank you. But people have had this pause for such a long time. Do you have any concrete tips on what borrowers should be doing to prepare?
Yes, so there has been this long pause, and so there's multiple steps that borrowers should start taking now that can help them down the road when these payments begin again. The first thing I would say borrowers need to do, when I spoke to some experts, was get in contact with your loan provider servicer and make sure you have the most up-to-date contact information. Of course, for those who had applied for forgiveness, one of the good things about that is that did give the education department their most up-to-date contact information. So that was good on that side as well. Keep in mind, about 40% of borrowers actually have a new loan servicer from who they had before the pandemic. So that
confusing.
will have changed.
Wow.
Exactly. And also 7 to 8 million borrowers graduated over this 3-year pause. And so this will all be new for them. So they want to make sure they're getting the most up-to-date information. Another thing that borrowers should think about doing is applying for auto pay. That will help make sure that they don't miss a payment when these start coming this fall. Depending on the servicer, people can actually choose what date that auto pay will kick in. And then there's also the fact that if you sign up for auto pay, you get a reduced interest rate. It's a small cut, but that is something that will help millions of borrowers. And then the third thing that folks should start thinking about doing is budgeting. They have a couple months throughout the summer to really take track of their finances. There's apps like mint.com, which can help track finances, and then think about how they might need to change their budget to make those payments that they're going to have to make starting in October.
Right. Some really good advice there. Sarah Ewall-Wice. Sarah, thank you.
Thank you.